Welcome to True Quit Client Stories. Today I have with me Josip, who has actually today has his 1 year anniversary of his quit smoking journey. So I'm really pleased to have him today joining me for a chat. How are you, Joseph?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Um, yeah, congratulations, 1 year.
Yeah, it's been a challenging road, but yeah, I finally got here. So yeah, it's, yeah, after a few little missteps early on in the program, it's I'm surprised I've made it to 1 year. So yeah, it actually feels like a big weight is lifted off my shoulder. So I don't feel trapped anymore. So it's a big relief.
That's so awesome. I'm so happy for you. I know you worked hard for this. Um, and I'd actually be really interested to hear, Joseph, if you could tell us a little bit about your life before you quit smoking, your actual smoking life.
Well, I used okay for my smoking life. I started smoking probably around about the age of 18, um, and early in the early years I didn't smoke heavily. It's only in the last probably 10 years that I had a habit of half a pack a day, so 4 packets a week. So that was my smoking habit, and and before joining True Quit, I was actually thinking about quitting, but I just thought, how am I going to do this? I just thought it was too hard. So that's my smoking life prior to this. But also just to add what I spoke to Michael about was also my smoking was actually causing anxiety, which actually didn't quite, I didn't know. I thought it was actually a different underlying condition. So, and yeah, and since I've quit, so it's been a year. I haven't actually had any anxiety attacks, so it's been quite good.
Wow, that's amazing. So you had no idea beforehand, and then once you quit, you realized that there was the added benefit that you also got rid of anxiety.
Yeah, yeah, it was because cigarettes are a stimulant, and so it's actually the nicotine and plus also the other chemicals, etc. Entering your body. So that's what was actually causing the anxiety. So yeah, and but at the time I didn't know. It's like as a smoker, you think you're stressed out. So what do? You just have another cigarette. So I was just feeding the habit and actually exacerbating the problem. So yeah, that's one thing I discovered after actually quitting.
And that's amazing. And any other things you've noticed your life being different in any other ways?
Oh yeah, I've already noticed now. I don't from my smoking habit. I don't sometimes I used to get pins and needles in my legs and arms after one too many cigarettes. So yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. And also I think the main reason why I did go on this quitting journey was every morning just coughing up my lungs, clearing out phlegm every single morning. So that was the main driver. And yeah, and since quitting the smoking, yeah, it hasn't been, that problem's just gone completely. It doesn't exist anymore. So
Wow, that must make a big difference to your mornings, waking up so much better like that.
yeah, it does. It does make a big difference. So yeah, 'cause I was noticing when I was walking at work, on the way to work, shortness of breath and always coughing. But I wasn't even having a cigarette, so it was just the cigarettes from the day before that still affecting me. So, and I think most smokers, have that problem, and it doesn't go away until you actually stop smoking.
Yeah, yeah. And can you tell us a little bit about the program? How did you find the program?
Okay, I found the program through one of my friend's sisters. She went through the program, and she actually was a pack a day smoker. So, and and she's a few years younger than me, and so she mentioned it, and it took me about a year before I actually did something about it and contacted True Quit. So that's how I, you know, that was the beginning of his whole journey. So it was through a friend's sister that I decided to join the program because when she mentioned that she no longer wants to have a cigarette or feels like having a cigarette, yeah, and that's a thing I found hard to believe because I felt so trapped at the time, and yeah, I found it very hard to believe that not using patches, which I tried. So I'd already prior to this I'd tried patches, I tried the inhalers, the lozenges. Um, and my last attempt that failed was actually hypnosis, and that did not work either. So that, yeah, it lasted about a month, and then I was back smoking again. So yeah, so I was sort of yeah, so there was a bit of desperation, creeping in, about trying to quit. So that's how I started on my true quit journey.
Yeah. And did you find the program easy to use? How long did you stay in the program for?
Um, let's see. I started in September 2020, the program, and my quit date was January 12th, 2021. So, so I stayed in the program for 5 months till the quit date. So, because I had actually a couple of missteps where I actually fell off the wagon, as they say, and yeah, because I was in too much of a rush to go through the program and didn't study the program that well. So they're just some of the pitfalls, in doing the program. But you know, but the biggest help was doing the weekly meetings because you don't feel alone listening to other people's quitting journeys. So, and everyone has a different journey, but there's little bits and pieces that you can take away from the other participants, because they're the same as yours, so and in those little steps along the way, you're hearing those stories, it helps you to keep going. And I think the most important thing I realised in that period that I was in the program was just taking each day as it comes and not thinking too far ahead. So yeah, because as soon as you start thinking too far ahead, it becomes overwhelming for some people, and yeah, and then they sort of they get frustrated and they don't follow the the videos in the program. And yeah, and I found the best thing was the videos. I found that very useful, like because the program's actually stated that you watch one video per day, and again that shows that you won't get overwhelmed by the whole process and the program. So I found that quite a very helpful uh, piece of information along the quit journey. So that's so that's how long I was in the program for. But I'm still being, even after January 12, I was still going to the weekly meetings after my quit date, and I've also made appearances, and I've also done the, I can't remember what it's called now. It's off the top of my head. Um, the mentor, yeah, that's it. The mentorship, yeah. So I did that for a couple of few months while it was still available on Facebook. So I actually helped one individual, and yeah, so she's quit smoking. So as far as I know, so um, and yeah, there's that was a bit challenging on my part because I've never done sort of a mentorship. So, but yeah, it feels good to give back. So that's been good about this whole journey.
Yeah, that must have been very rewarding for you to be able then to help someone else quit smoking because you'd already been through the whole process. You would
Yeah,
understand sort of where they're coming from and be able to guide them. That's really nice that you were able to do that.
yeah, and also, but also I realised one thing. as I was going through, I was at a different stage. Obviously, by that period, I was already 5 or 6 months into the quitting stage. It sort of reinforces what I'd already known. It helps you remind you, because there's still a few more steps to go until you're final, that you're pretty much safe, that you've quit smoking, which I'm at today, which is 1 year. So it takes it's a 12-month journey. And yeah, and there are some days where you think, oh no, I can't do this. You just think like, oh, I'm gonna get a cigarette. But this time round, no, I actually didn't have that problem, because I think the biggest rewarding part of the program was, in my opinion, was learning that a craving, um, if you have a thought, the thought of a smoke is not a craving. So that was the biggest. I think in my eyes, that was the biggest turning point for me, like learning that lesson. Because yeah, a lot of people don't. We don't. Prior to this, I never thought of it that way or didn't understand it, and I think a lot of the, I think a lot of the participants in the program, I think they struggle to grasp just that little concept, that a thought of smoking is not a craving. So yeah, so once I was able to overcome that, and also help people in the mentorship understand that, I think that was one of the keys that helped people, sort of overcome their fears, and the being of a prison, or being a smoker,
Yeah,
as some people might say.
exactly. It must be nice to be out of prison now. And
Yes.
yes, that's just so, it's wonderful to hear, Joseph. I'm so happy for you. I know you worked really hard for this, and yeah, I'm just, yeah, excited for you for what lays ahead for you now.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, and also thanks to Michael as well, and also to any future participants. My biggest recommendation is to take that little bit of time out of your day and join the weekly uh, meetings that the program provides. So yeah, because that I think, after everything else, I think that was the most important thing that helped me. Is you're hearing other people's stories along the way, and just and yeah, like I said before, prior to this, hearing other people's stories, they're very similar to your own, and so that sort of helps you and motivates you to keep going. And yeah, and I think it's just all part of a process. A lot of people think they can do it on their own, but ask yourself the question: why do it on your own when there's people out there who are willing to help you? So that's my take on the whole thing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all this with us, Joseph. I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate you being a mentor with us as well. And I hope you will be staying with us for a while as a mentor, because I think you've got a lot of valid things to share, and help others go through what you went through. So yeah, thank you again for your time, and I wish you all the best.
Okay, thank you very much.
And
And
yeah, and I look forward to seeing you celebrate your 2 year anniversary.
okay, thank you very much.
All right, you take care. Thank
Okay,
you soon.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.